What are some signs that your ex's heart is open to love? That's what we're going to be talking about in this video. And please stay tuned through to the end because we're going to be talking about some tangible things that you can do to get started with this as well too. Hey there, it's Clay with modernlove.life. Now, if you've been looking around for ways to connect more with your ex, you may be wondering like, hey, are they even open to being in a relationship right now? Are they even open to love? For all I know, maybe they just want to, go out and party and do drugs and drink and stuff like that and just be a single sort of hollow ghost drifting around from one thing to another. I don't know. I wanted to talk to you today about some ways that you can know if they're actually genuinely open to love, open to a relationship, and maybe even with you. So let's go ahead and get into it. The first thing is that they're actually open to emotionally connecting, okay? Now, this is going to involve a two-way conversation. That means both of you are going to be feeling seen and heard as the result of this connection here. It's not just them, yammering on about, work and you're just kind of sitting there soaking it all in or something like that. And, likewise, it's also not just you, droning on about, the details of your day or something and they don't get a word in edgewise. It's going to have to be a two-way conversation that actually allows both of you to feel connected, okay? So they're going to be taking an interest in you. That's a big sign that they're looking for something, that they're open. And also, they're going to be willing to share stuff with you as well, too, because that's going to demonstrate that they're willing to be vulnerable and to, of course, share themselves. If this is happening, then that's definitely a huge sign that they are open for love. The second sign that they are open for love is that they're no longer playing mind games, or maybe they're just not playing mind games in general. But when you play mind games, whether that's for power or status or to manipulate someone into doing something else, that just reeks of emotional unavailability. We've talked about emotional unavailability on this channel before, and honestly, it's some of our most popular content. But emotional unavailability is basically, hey, I'm interested in you because I think it will lead to X. That's to say, you are a means to an end for something else. Like if I sleep with you, then that means that I must be super attractive, and all those people that said I wasn't are wrong because I got an incredibly desirable person like you to sleep with me. Or hey, if I can get into a relationship with you, then that means I'm well on track to getting married before I'm 30 or 40 or whatever. And that means that I'm a success in life. Or hey, if my friends saw that I was with someone as cool as you, they'd all congratulate me and I'd get to feel good about myself. Or all sorts of things like that, right? And these are all forms of emotional unavailability, where someone is making the connection about something else besides what the connection is. So obviously, if they're connecting with you authentically, like we talked about, that's a huge, positive sign there. But also, if they're just not playing mind games, it shows that they're, probably not emotionally unavailable. If they're not trying to make you jealous, if they're not trying to, use reverse psychology or anything like that, play hard to get, then they're probably ready for a relationship. Now, don't get me wrong, some people, because they've just been taking in so much junk advice, they think that they need to play mind games and stuff in order to get a relationship, and maybe it's just been so hardwired into them from, years and years of reading the wrong things and hearing the wrong things. But that leads us to the next one, which is, having difficult conversations. If they're open to having difficult conversations, then that's also a huge sign that they're ready for actually having a relationship or actually ready for love. Any real relationship that's going to, last any considerable length of time is going to hit up on some hard times. There's going to be some disagreements and hard conversations that need to be had about things. And if someone is unable or unwilling to have a hard conversation, they just want to keep it shallow, surface level, probably not emotionally available, and also probably not ready for a relationship. What that means then is that if someone is willing to have a hard conversation, then they might be ready for actually having a relationship. So going back to the whole mind game thing, like if someone has just been taking in so much junk advice from Cosmo or pickup artists, coaches or something like that, and they just think that they have to play mind games in order to get a relationship, then what you really want to do is you want to have a hard conversation with them. And you might just say something like, hey, I don't know, maybe it's just in my mind or something, but it seems like, you know, you're always doing X, Y, Z, whatever that might be, you know, playing this mind game, or pulling back when I do this, or breadcrumbing me in some way. And if they're willing to have that conversation, and they're willing to say something like, you know, hey, you know, you're right, I never really thought about it, but I guess I just always thought that's what I needed to do to attract someone. Or, you know, I never thought about it, but yeah, I just never really felt like it was safe to fully express myself, or, you know, whatever it might be. Then okay, great, they're willing to have a hard conversation with you, and it sounds like they're willing to correct course. If they're not able to do this, if they're unable or unwilling to do this, then okay, that's just another sign that they're not ready for love and a real relationship. By the way, if you're liking this video, please make sure you hit the thumbs up button for the YouTube algorithm, and please make sure you subscribe to this channel as well too, and hit that bell icon while you're down there doing all of that. All of these things help us out with the YouTube algorithm a lot. It would also help us out a lot if you helped me with my low self-esteem and just dropped a comment down below in the comment section letting me know that you like these videos, okay? The big one is that obviously they bring you around their friends and family. Now, usually people aren't going to try to incorporate you into a significant part of their life, you know, friends, family, core social circles and stuff like that, unless they were pretty serious about you. So if someone's willing to do that with you, and they've gone through these other steps of building an emotional connection with you and all that sort of stuff, then the chances are they're pretty serious about this and they're ready to take things in that direction. Now, of course, someone could just be delusional and emotionally unavailable, and they might have gotten out of a breakup like 2 weeks ago, and they're rebounding with you or something, and they like propose to you and say, hey, let's meet my parents or something, because they're so attached to the idea of being over their ex or something like that, that they want to, you know, try and force things with you. Like, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, like, okay, you know, you've been talking for, you know, maybe several weeks, a couple months or something like that. You have a good connection. Everything seems to be developing organically, and now it's like, oh yeah, you know, my family's doing their annual barbecue this weekend. Do you want to come by? And it's like, okay, cool. Now we're kind of making it there, but we're not like doing anything kind of, you know, like scary rebound stuff, like, you know, meeting the parents on the first date or something like that. I mean, it's one thing if you're in high school and you have to meet the parents on the first date because you're picking someone up at their parents' house because that's where they live. But, you know, you know what I mean. Anyway, with that being said, the next thing that you want to look out for to show that your ex is ready for love, that they're ready for a relationship, is that they actually follow through on the things they say they're going to do, especially if these are big things, right? It's one thing to say, like, yeah, I'll text you later today, but it's another thing to say, like, yeah, you know, I'd really like to, you know, go to this nice romantic getaway in the countryside outside of the city that we live in. Like, there's something coming up in 3 weeks. Do you want to just come with me, and we can all we can go and have this great time and go visit some, I don't know, you know, vineyards and stuff like that, go hiking, whatever it is that you're into. And you say, yeah, let's do that. And then they actually make it happen. Like, that's definitely a good sign. But if they're always over-promising and under-delivering, then that's probably a sign that they're not ready for a relationship. If they say things like, yeah, you know, maybe we could do that sometime, and then they just never bring it up again. Or, yeah, I don't know, I might have some free time this weekend, maybe we can do X, Y, Z or something, but then they just never text you back until, you know, the weekend is over. Like, okay, that's the opposite of follow-through. That's over-promising and under-delivering. And that's definitely not a relationship sign. It's definitely not a positive relationship sign. It's just something that probably an emotionally unavailable person is going to be doing for you here. Anyway, with that being said, hey, congratulations. You made it to the end of the video. Please drop a comment down below letting me know you made it to the end of the video, because it does make me so happy when you make it all the way to the end of these videos. And what is important here in all of these things is something that we call emotional unavailability. I'd like to really explain to you what that is. So I made this short little playlist over here that'll tell you exactly what emotional availability is, what to look out for, and what to do if you're seeing it in the dynamic that's playing out before your eyes. Anyway, go ahead and check out that video next. Please take care, and I'll talk to you next time.